In this tutorial, we are going to discuss the fourth class under the phylum Chordata, and that is the class Aves. We have general characteristics of the organisms that are found under this class Aves. One is that their skin are covered with feathers. They are naturally light, especially those that can fly. We have those that can fly and those that cannot fly. Those that can fly, they are light weighted, and those that cannot fly, they are heavy weighted when you compare the two. In some cases, we ask students to give adaptations of birds for flight. One, they have toothless beak which reduces their weight. Two, they have feathers for flight. Three, they have hollow bones which further reduces their weight. Let's continue with the general characteristics as we started. The third one is that their mouth has been modified into a toothless honey beak. Just like I said, they have beak without teeth, which further reduces their weight for flight. The fourth one is that they lay eggs, and animals that do lay eggs, we call them oviparous animals or oviviparous animals with internal fertilization. That means the fission of the male and the female gamete, it is occurring inside the body of the organism, that is the female. And the fifth one, their streamlined body reduces the effect of the opposing air during flight. What we mean by streamlined body, that means as you are coming towards the head, it is taper, or we can say it is smaller. As you are going towards the back, it is also taper, that means it becomes smaller. This makes them to easily move in the air effectively with less air resistance. The number six is that they live on land, and animals that live on land we call them terrestrial animals, while others live on trees. Animals that live on trees or above ground level we call them arbora animals. The seventh characteristics is that they possess four chambers of heart. In the previous one we are talking about, in Pisces we said they have two chambers heart. In amphibians we said they have three chambers heart. In reptiles we said they have 3.5 chambers heart. But in here now we have the full four chambers heart. Eight, they respire using lungs, and nine, they are homeothermic. That means they are warm-blooded animals. These animals, they have constant body temperature irrespective of the changes that is happening in the environment. In fact, Aves, they have higher body temperature compared to mammals like us, because during flight, their metabolic rate is much higher. The tenth is that they have scaly legs. If you observe their legs, it is having scale on it. And the 11th characteristics that we have here, they have hollow bones. Just like I said, they have hollow bones which further reduces their weight. They are not having compact bone as we have in mammals. Example of organisms under the class Aves, we have domestic fowl and parrots. We have many more, but the most common one that we used to draw questions on is domestic fowl. On this slide here, you have diagram of a domestic fowl. You can pause this one and learn how to label it. You have the eye which they use for vision, the beak which they use for feeding, you have the wattle which they use for regulation of temperature, you have the comb which they use for attraction, you have the wing which they use for flight, And you have the claw, which end in digits, which they use most often to find food. On this slide here, we have diagram of an egg of a fowl, so you can pause also and learn how to label it correctly. So in here, we have the outermost shell here that is surrounding this calcareous shell. It is there for two things. One, it is there for protection. Two, it allows exchange of gases. Just below the calcareous shell, we have the shell membrane. This shell membrane, they are there for protection as well, and they help to fight against infection. For example, bacterial infection. And just after the shell membrane, when you have taken off the calcareous shell, you have taken off the shell membrane. The white thing you see is what we call the albumin, also called the egg white. This albumin, it helps in the nourishment of the developing embryo. And we have the yolk that is yellow in color. This yolk, it provides nutrients for the developing embryo as well. And on the yolk, we have the germinal disc. This germinal disc here, it is the site of fertilization where the fission of the male and the female gametes occur. And it is the germinal disc that will develop into the embryo. This germinal disc, one, it is the site of fertilization. Two, it is the one that develop into embryo. And we have the ear space. This ear space is there for effective exchange of gases. And we have chaliza. These chaliza that we have here, they help to hold the yolk in place. Now let's talk about feathers. So we are going to talk about feathers in this slide and the slide to come. So in here we have the diagram of a feather. Let's start from below here. We have this one we call the calamus. This calamus, it is the one that is being embedded into the skin. And we have the downy barbs. You can see this barb that is pointing towards the skin. It is what we call the downy barbs. And you can see another fluffy one, just like the downy barb, but it is pointing upwards. That is what we call the after feather. And just after the after feathers, you can see strong barbs that are pointing towards the tip, and they are closely packed together. These are what we call the barb, or you can call it the main barb. And we can see a long shaft running from the downy barbs where we have it towards the tip. This is what we call the ridges. It is on these ridges that we have the barbs being attached to. On the shaft where we don't have the barbs, that is the part that is being embedded into the skin. That is what we call calamus, as I said before. So this is the diagram of a feather. You can pause as well and learn how to label it. Anything is liable to come. Learn everything and be on the safer side. Lastly, we have types of feathers. These feathers as well, they can come with anyone and you will be asked to identify, or they can come with two, you will be asked to identify, and you give a different or differences between the two. You can give differences based on their location, you can give differences based on how you see them, which one is larger, which one is smaller, and how the barbs are being arranged. So let's start on the far right side of the computer. We have the wing feather. This wing feather that we have, They are found on the wing and they are responsible for flight. And we have the tail feather. These tail feather here, they are found on the tail and they are also responsible for flight. As you can observe on this slide, there is a difference between the wing feather and the tail feather. You can observe here the barb here on the wing feather on this side here. You can see on one side it is shorter compared with the other one. As we are going on along the tail feather, you can see they are almost equal. And also we have here on this slide the down feather. The down feather you are seeing is having a fluffy barbs. And we have the contour feather. This contour feather, the down feather, and even this semi-plumb that we have here, they act as an insulator, preventing the loss of heat. The contour feather, they are the one that most often give shape to the birds. The semi-plumb, you can see it is fluffy almost towards the apex. But you can see here the contour feather, it is fluffy, not even at the middle, but just towards the middle, it ends. And you can see from that point upwards here towards the apex, you can see it is being neatly arranged, it is not fluffy. And we have the bristle and the phylloplum. You can see the bristle here at the end, it resembles like a needle. And the phylloplum, you can see it has a little bit of barbs at the end.